The atmosphere in the studio was electric the moment Jason Aldean walked onto the Clarkson show. The country star was there to promote his latest album, a project he had poured his soul into. The audience erupted in cheers, but behind Jason's polite smile there was tension. He'd been warned beforehand that Kelly wanted to address a controversial topic. What he didn't know was that the question would ignite one of the most talked about moments in daytime television. Cameras rolled, lights blazed, and Kelly, sitting with her signature charm, leaned in and said, "Jason, you've been in the headlines lately. Do you think your recent statements went too far?" Jason's jaw tightened almost immediately. The polite grin faded from his face as he adjusted his denim jacket and looked directly at her. "Kelly, I've been doing this for over 20 years, he said evenly, "and I know who I am. I'm not here to apologize for speaking my mind." The crowd's reaction was mixed. Some clapped, others murmured uncomfortably. Kelly, maintaining her calm, replied gently, "No one's asking for an apology. But don't you think there's a difference between speaking your mind and crossing a line?" That was the spark. Jason's eyes flashed with irritation. "Crossing a line?" Jason repeated, leaning forward. "You mean being honest? I grew up in a small town, Kelly. I speak from experience, not from PR scripts." Kelly's expression softened, but she didn't back down. "I understand that," she said, "but your platform reaches millions. Sometimes what we say can hurt people, even if we don't mean to." Jason's voice deepened, frustration creeping in. "So now I can't talk about my own experiences because someone might get offended? That's ridiculous." The air grew heavy. The audience sensed something big was about to happen. Kelly took a steady breath, her voice calm but firm. "Jason, you know I respect you. But when your music or words divide people instead of bringing them together, it matters. It's not about censorship, it's about awareness." Jason shook his head, visibly agitated now. "I'm not dividing anyone. People twist things however they want. I sing about real life, not politics. If folks can't handle that, maybe they shouldn't listen." The crowd reacted with a mix of gasps and awkward laughter. The tension between them was palpable, two artists from the same world, clashing in full view of millions. Backstage, producers exchanged nervous glances. This wasn't the interview they had planned. Kelly, ever the professional, tried to ease the moment with humor. "You sound pretty fired up, Jason. Maybe we should have started with coffee instead of questions." Jason didn't laugh. He leaned back, crossing his arms, his frustration clear. "I'm fired up because people are tired of being told what they can or can't say. I'm tired of this cancel culture nonsense." The audience murmured again, some applauding, others shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Kelly's smile faded slightly. "Jason, no one's canceling you," she said quietly. "But we can't ignore when words hurt. That's all I'm saying." Jason stared at her, the silence stretching for several seconds before he finally said, "I think I've said enough." He stood up abruptly, pulling off his microphone. The camera crew froze. Kelly blinked, stunned, as Jason muttered under his breath, "I'm done with this." Without another word, he walked off the set, leaving a stunned audience and a visibly shaken host behind. The studio fell into an uneasy silence. Kelly tried to recover quickly, turning to the camera with her trademark professionalism. "Well," she said, forcing a smile, "that was unexpected. We'll be right back." The show cut to an emergency commercial break. Behind the scenes, chaos erupted. Producers rushing to Jason's team, publicists arguing about damage control, and assistants trying to calm the audience. Kelly sat quietly for a moment, exhaling deeply, her hands trembling slightly from the confrontation's intensity. Within hours, clips of Jason storming off the show went viral. Twitter exploded with debates, hashtags like Aldean vs Clarkson and the View Moment 2.0 trending worldwide. Some praised Jason for standing his ground, while others accused him of arrogance and disrespect. Kelly's fans flooded social media with messages of support, applauding her composure under pressure. Meanwhile, Jason's PR team scrambled to spin the story, claiming the interview had been edited unfairly and taken out of context. The next morning, Jason released a short statement on Instagram. "I'll always speak my truth. Sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. That's fine by me. The post received millions of likes and comments, both defending and condemning him. Kelly, on her show the following day, addressed the moment briefly but gracefully. "I respect Jason as an artist," she said. "We just had a passionate conversation. I hope next time we can meet in the middle." Her measured tone earned her even more admiration for handling the chaos with dignity. Behind closed doors, however, both stars were privately reflective. Jason sat in his tour bus later that night, staring out at the quiet city lights, the sound of rain tapping against the window. "Maybe I did go too far," he admitted softly to his guitarist. Meanwhile, Kelly sat alone in her dressing room, sipping tea, whispering to herself, "He's not a bad guy, just tired of being misunderstood." In the end, two artists had clashed, not out of hatred, but from the raw, unfiltered emotions that come when truth meets pride on live television, and the world had watched every second.